Hello guys, welcome to this next lecture of CRUD operations using Angular and Spring Boot. So in this series we are basically going to focus on CRUD operations, and we will see how we can do these all kind of CRUD operations, and we will see both front end and back end as well. So as a back end we are using Spring Boot, and as a front end we are using Angular. So till now we have covered all the points like create operations. So we have covered these registration form for the students. So we have seen like backend and front end as well. Then we have seen these retrieve operations. So as you can see over here, there is a data of different students. So this is the retrieve operations, and over here we have two buttons like delete and update. So we have already seen how we will work with this delete button. So if I click on this delete button, then record will get deleted, and the only functionality that we left back is this edit. So for this edit functionality we have already created backend data or backend REST endpoint, and what we just need one Angular code so that I can edit all the details through the Angular application. So previously we created one REST endpoint, and over here as you can see we tested this endpoint through the Postman. So what we want now, we want one Angular application, and we want to call that update REST endpoint through this Angular application. So in this video we are going to see how we can do that. So as a part of this video we are going to focus on this functionality. So when I will click on the edit and let's say when I will make some changes, so let me change this Pune and let me submit this data. Let me close this, and as you can see the address is changed to the Pune. So this is what we are going to do in this video. So let me show you how we can do this. Now I am in my Visual Studio Code, and over here we have already seen how we can create these student services and how these HTML, TS, all these things works. So without wasting time, let me go to this student.service.ts, because here the first thing that we need to do is to add the REST endpoint. So let me quickly add the REST endpoint. So we have already added endpoint for the student, then get students and delete students. Now the time is for update the student. So let me add public update student, and this will take all the student data that needs to be updated. And then over here what we will do, we will return this dot http dot post. So the call is put actually, so we just need to change it to the put. Then we just need to use these brackets, and inside these brackets let me pass the path. So path is this dot API plus, so this is the concatenation actually. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this dot API, that means http://localhost:9090, and then I'm going to append that particular REST endpoint. So REST endpoint is let me show you in the Postman. So here the REST point is /update student. So let me copy this, and one more, like in case if you are not working with the Postman, so you can go to your Eclipse IDE, and then over here you will find your controller classes, and so in the student controller you will find this put mapping and your path of the REST endpoint. So let me go to the Visual Studio again, and over here let me add this path. So don't forget to add this slash, and then we just need to pass the data. So data is my student, so whatever student data is there, we will pass that particular data to this REST endpoint. And at the backend we have written the logic like how we can fetch the roll number, and depending upon that roll number we will update the data. So let me save this service.ts file and let me close this. Now the work is in app.component.html. So let me go to this particular HTML file, and over here let me show you how we can add this event listener to this edit button, so that we will so that there will be a dialog which will get opened, and by using that dialog we will update all the records. Now the first thing that we need to do is to, whenever we click on this edit button, then what I want one model to get opened. So first of all we just need to focus on that particular part, that whenever I will click on this edit button, one model will get opened. So Bootstrap now comes into the picture. So here there are some Bootstrap classes and all those things which will help us to do this functionality. So let me quickly go to the browser and let me type Bootstrap, and over here let me go to the first link, that is getbootstrap.com. so I will provide this link in the description box, so you can directly visit to this particular page. And inside this, let me go to the documentation, and then again let me go to the components at this site. So let me go to the components, and over here you will find there is one component called as a modal. So let me open this modal. So this is basically it will give you an opportunity to use the dialog, or to create the dialog. So yeah, so over here if you click on this button, you are able to see this dialog, right? So in our cases, functionality or the requirement is quite same, and there are some button properties that we needs to add, and there is a modal. So let me copy these modal. So I'm not copying the button code because button we already have in our code. So I'm just copying the modal. So you can find this comment, and from that particular comment you can copy all the below code. So let me copy this, and let me quickly go to Visual Studio, and let me paste these at the end of the code. So let me hit the enter, let me paste this, let me save this. Now again what we want to tell this edit button, whenever I will click on this edit button, it should open this particular model. So let me go to the browser again, and over here you will find some properties like this data toggle model and data target is equals to hash example model. So copy those things and come to the Visual Studio again and paste it over here. So let me paste this, and now let me click on save, and now let me quickly go to the browser again. So let me go to the browser and let me refresh this application, and over here now if you see, if I click on the edit button, now the model is opening, right? So this is the functionality that we require. So whenever I will click on the button, the model will get opened. Now let me change the title of this model, and let me change this content of this model, and these two buttons we do not require these two buttons, so let me remove those as well. So let me now quickly go to the Visual Studio, and over here we just need to replace these three dots by our content. And before that, let me change the title of this model. So I will give the title like update student, and I will save these, and we just need to add one form over here. So let me go to the above code that we already done. So over here if you find, we already added one form. So let me copy that whole form because I just do not want to repeat all those codes. So let me copy this code, and if you have your other form, then that will be very fine. Otherwise you can copy the above code and you can paste it over here. And otherwise if you do not have any of the form, then you can create a new one by in a Bootstrap itself. You will get different forms. So inside these components you will find one option called as a form. So if you click in these and if you try to find, then you will find there are different forms, so you can copy from this as well. Now let me copy these and let me paste it over here. So I'm just pasting it into the model body. So let me paste it over here. Now let me save these changes, and let me go to the browser and let me see now how the application is looking like. So let me click on edit, and now as you can see, we are able to see all the form. right? And what we want, we just do not want these close and save changes buttons, because we have already this register button. So we just need to change this button to the button text from register to update and all, and we just need to remove these. So let me go to Visual Studio again, and at the end, if you find, there is a one class called as a model footer. So let me remove this one like this, and the value of that register button, now it will be like update. Now let me save this, let me go to the browser again, and let me see how it is. And now as you can see, it is looking quite good. Okay, now here are some concepts that we first of all we need to understand, and then we can move forward. So let me tell you about those concepts. So here the concept that we are going to use is called as a two-way binding. But because, let me tell you the reason, because whenever I will click on the edit button, so I am getting these fields are empty fields, so there is no any data present at these particular input types. So what I want actually, so whenever I will click on the edit button, what I want, these name, address and percentage must appear into these particular fields, so that I will get the idea, like, yes, the address is current address is Mumbai, so let me change it to the Kanpur, or let me change it to the Lucknow. So this is how I just want. And student name, let's say if I misspelled, like there is some spelling mistake into the student name, so I am able to watch here. So what I will do, I will just remove all those things and we will update, and same for the percentage. So in short, what I want actually, whenever I will click on this edit button, I want that particular student data into this field. So let me show you how we can do this. So for this, the concept that we are going to use is called as a two-way binding. And the two-way binding, I will tell you that what is this and how this works exactly. So I will tell you each and everything about this. So first of all, let me write the code, and then afterwards I will try to explain everything. So over here we have already seen how we can give these hash name and hash address and hash percentage, and we have already seen this ng model. So here in this ng model, what I will do, I will keep all these things into the square brackets like this. So this ng model is now in the square brackets, and similarly let me copy this ng model along with the square brackets, and let me paste it below, right? So this is what called as a two-way binding. So what the two-way binding will do, it will find one, for example, let's say name. So it will find this name variable into your TypeScript file, and it will bind that variable value to this particular input field. But here the one thing is, like, we have not, there is no any like name and address field into our ts file. So let me go to quickly app.component.ts, and over here there is no any field or nothing is present. So we just need to create those fields. So how I will do, what I will do, I will just take one variable, let's say student to update is equals to, and inside these two curly brackets I will take all the properties. So first property that I need is roll number, then it will be empty, so let me give this as empty, and then it will be the second property will be the name, and again it will be the empty, and let's say third property is address, and again it will be the empty, and fourth property will be the percentage, and it will also be a empty, and let me give the semicolon at the end. Now over here we have now all the fields, but we have not binded any values to these fields, like as of now, let's say I have all these fields, And over here what we want, we just want the name and address to be binded to these particular field. I will also tell you dramatically like how the things are going on. So let me write first of all code, and then I will try to explain. And over here now let me go to the below and let me create one method. So let me create one method called as a edit. And what edit method will do, it will accept one student and it will assign the selected or accepted student values to these student to update variables. So this dot student to update will be the student or is equals to student. So let me save this and let me call this edit method whenever I will click on the edit button. So let me go to the edit button, and over here let me add click event. So let me add the click event is equals to the method name is edit, and the data that I want to pass is a student. So let me write student and let me take it into the double quotes. So how these student is coming, so over here if you find we have used the ng-for, and inside this ng-for we are just taking this student, and like in student details is an array, so we are just iterating that array, and inside like for every iteration there will be a student object, or we can say that the student variable which will hold all the values, and that particular selected student we will pass to that edit function. So this is the logic, and that edit function will accept this student and it will assign all the values to this student to update variable. So over here we have one variable called as a student to update, so we can say that variable, or we can say that object, or whatever it will be. So we have this one, okay. And now what we want to bind these student to update dot roll number to that particular method. So over here we have just created this ng model, and we have just using the name address, but what we want now, actually whatever values inside these student to update, we just wanted to bind it. So how it will be, like we just need to copy the student to update, and over here how it should be look like student to update dot name. So ng model, then student to update dot name, then address will be like student to update dot address, and percentage will be like student to update dot percentage. Now let me save this and let me go to the browser and let me click on edit. Now over here we are able to find the all the details whenever I click on the edit button. So let me click on this edit button, and over here you are able to find this name called as a Sonali. So this is how it is working. Now over here we are not displaying the roll number, so let me quickly display the roll number as well, so that it will look more good. So let me copy this one and let me paste it over here, and over here let me change this student to update dot name. So let me remove this name and it will be like roll number, and this hash name should be roll number, and let me change the ID and other properties as well. So let me change name and ID, and over here the placeholder will be the student roll number, like this. Now let me save this and let me go to the browser again and let me show you whether it is working or not. So let me click on this edit. Yes, now it is working. Now we are able to see the roll number. Now let me tell you dramatically what is happening behind the scene, and let me show you what is the strategy. Now let me go to my whiteboard, and over here I will try to explain. Now I am on my whiteboard and let me try to explain what is happening behind the scene. So let's say this is our HTML file. And over here inside this HTML we have all our edit buttons, we have our models and all. So everything is in that HTML file. So what we are doing, we are, let's say this is our edit button, and whenever we click on this edit button, what we are doing, we are just calling one function called as a edit, right? And whenever we call the edit function, what we are doing, we are just passing the student details or student object, let's say, and now we have student object over here. So what I am doing, I am just taking another variable or object, and whatever data I have in these edit edit function and in this edit student method, I am passing or I am copying those data into this new object, right? Into this new object. So this is the new object. So in our case, the new object name of this particular new object is student to update. Now what I am doing, I am just binding this object with a Angular form. So this is called as a two-way binding. So over here you can see these two arrows. So these two arrows what denote, whenever object will get changed, the form values will get changed, or whenever form values will get changed, this particular object will get changed. Let's say for example, I have percentage in this old object is 70. Now this 70 value I am showing into the Angular form, and from this particular Angular form, the value, let's say here first of all I will see the 70, and let's say I removed this 70 and I make it as 80, right? So this 80 will get reflected, and also this 70 will get vanished, and over here the percentage will be like 80%. So this is how the two-way binding works. So this same strategy we are using in our code. So over here what we are doing, we are just passing the student to this edit function, and over here we have one other extra variable or object we can say, in which we are storing all the student details. And so over here we are just like this dot student to update is equals to student. That means we are copying the student values into this student to update, and over here if you see, we binding that particular student to update values to the input field. So this is how it is happening behind the scene, right? Now whatever requirement we have, we just fulfilled those requirements. Now only thing is left back, it is with that, like we just need to click on this update, and we just need to call that particular REST endpoint. So before calling that particular REST endpoint, we just need to create one function inside our app.component.ts file, so that whenever I will click on this update button, that particular function will get called. So let me create one function over here. So let me say update student, and over here what I will do, I will call the service. So this dot student service dot update student. So this update student requires the student data. So our student data is now this dot student to update. So let me do over here this dot student update student to update, right? And this will return one observable. So I just need to subscribe to that observable. So let me subscribe this one, and let me print the response and error. So let me print response is equals to console dot log response, and if in case any error occurs, so let me console dot log that error as well. Like this. Now whenever we click on that update button, we just need to call this update student function. So let me go to the HTML, and over here we just need to call this method. So before calling this, let me change the name of this form because we have copied this form from above code. So let me change this to the update form, and over here we just need to call the update method, or let me see what it is exactly. So let me go over here, and method name is update student, and this method doesn't require any parameter. So let me go to the app.component.html and let me paste it, and let me remove this parameter. Now let me save this, and let me go to the browser again, and over here let me click on this edit, and let me try to hit this. So let me change this one, and let me make it as a 90, and let me click on update, and let me click on this close button, and now let me refresh this file. So we will see whether it is updating or not, and as you can see the percentage is 90%, so that means 90%. Now let me go to the MySQL command line client, and over here we will also verify that whether the changes are happening or not. So let me go to this command line client, and over here let me enter the password. So password is root, in your case it might be different, and let me use my database. So my database name is student dashboard, and let me select star from student is my table name, and over here we have Raj have 90%. So let me change percentage of Raj again. So let me make it at this time, let me make it as a 95. So let me go to the browser again, let me open on edit, let me click on edit, and then let me make it 95, and let me click on update. Now let me close these, and let me again select star from. Now you can see the percentage is updated, right? So this is how we can do this kind of functionality. And one more thing that we need to remember is that, like, whenever we will click on edit button, we should not allow the user to change this roll number, because roll number is an ID of the table, and we cannot actually change the roll number. So we just need to disable this field. And also over here I just observed that I have not changed this label text. So let me go to the Visual Studio again, and let me make it as a student roll number, and this field let me make it as a disabled. So let me write over here like disabled, and let me save this. Now let me go to the browser again, and let me refresh this, and let me try to edit. Now as you can see, this field is disabled. So this is how we can create Angular applications so that we can update all the data. So this is pretty basic application, and this might be this might be like we can improve this application very at very big level, so that we can remove these fields whenever I click on update, and we can close the modal as well, and we can do all the things. But the main motive behind this series was to focus on CRUD operations rather than the stylings and all those things. So whatever CRUD operations are there, we have covered all those CRUD operations. So in the first video we seen like in the first part we seen how we can install all the necessary things. Then in the second part we seen how we can configure the front end and back end project. Now in the third part we have covered all the necessary operations. So this is the last video of this series, and I hope you learned something from this series, and I tried my best to explain each and everything. And in case if you have any doubts, so let me know in the comment section, and I will try my best to help you out in that case. So thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe to my channel so that you will get different data and different new series on latest technologies. So if you do not want to miss those videos, you need to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell icon. So thank you for watching this video again, and subscribe to my channel. Learn programming yourself.